All right, let's continue yesterday's class. Yesterday I explained you what is primary key, right? So far whatever I explain you, is that clear for you? Clear for you, all of you? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If everything is clear, let's start. Let's start with foreign key.
Yes, ma'am. But when will be installing this software on
On
our
Monday.
computer?
On
Okay.
Monday. Yeah.
So we can use Mac also for that, na? No issues for that.
Yes, no issues. There
Okay,
won't be any
fine.
issues. On Monday, I will show you the installation process of MySQL. And by tomorrow, we will complete this foreign, now we will complete this foreign key concept. And after that, I will start explaining about SQL commands. I guess by tomorrow, we will complete all the SQL commands. And there won't be any class on this Saturday and Sunday. On Monday, I will show you the installation process of MySQL. And after that, I will give you the Netflix database. Once I will explain the database for you clearly, and I will show you how to import the database in your laptops. And I will provide you the database on that day itself. And from then we will start our main concepts like functions, joins, subqueries, like that. Okay.
Divya, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Uh, I'm not able to understand few concepts like
Mm-hmm.
what is activating, okay, and
What
what
is?
is
Sorry.
use.
Uh, what did you just ask? What is?
Activate.
Activating the database. Okay. First
Yeah,
of all, use is a,
yeah.
yeah. Correct. So first of all, use is a keyword which we will use to activate the database. Here you can see here. Activate the database in the sense, here I just open my MySQL server, right? At the towards the left side, you can see the list of the databases, correct? For now, I'm having 3, 6, 7 databases here, right? By default, sys is the system generated database, and I created some 6 databases here. So before starting writing any of the SQL queries, we need to first activate our database. That means here we are using Durgasoft database, right? We
Yes.
created Durgasoft database, and we are using all the SQL queries inside that database only. Like we are creating the table, we are inserting the table, like that. So now for the next concept also, I want to do that. I want to execute my queries in Durgasoft database only. So that's the reason, first what I should do whenever I open my open this tool, open my workbench, for the first once after opening my workbench, I need to activate this database. Okay. Without activating, if I just try to execute any SQL statement, SQL will throw us an error, because SQL won't understand whether where to activate that particular statement, in which it will get confused that in which database should I activate should I execute that statement. That's the reason, first we need to activate the database. Okay. See, and to activate the database, we will use command. Okay.
Okay.
Let me write the syntax here. I think I wrote here. See, use and database name. We need to give like this. So now, next for the next concept, yesterday we finished primary key, right? Today I will explain you about the foreign key, and I want to create all these queries inside the Durgasoft database only. For that, first I need to activate the database. So I'm executing this query. Use Durgasoft. Okay. I'm just selecting this and executing this. Immediately you can see this Durgasoft database get into, it took the bold characters, right? It got activated. That is a symbol, that is a sign where we can understand remaining all databases are in light color, but Durgasoft took the bold black color, right? Now this database is in activation. So whatever query next I will execute, that all queries will be executed inside this database only. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Divya.
And I hope everyone of you understood about primary key, right?
Yes, ma'am. Unique and not null.
Not null. Perfect. So whenever we are defining primary key in any column, it won't allow us to enter any duplicate values, and that data should not be null also. Okay. For that reason, we will define primary key for one column. And one more rule we need to remember is that for each and every table, that means one table will have one primary key only. Okay. In this employees table, for only employee ID column only, we declared primary key. Like that, only one primary key will be there for one table. All right. Next, let's see what is foreign key. Basically, foreign key is used to create the relationship between the tables. Okay. I repeat, it is used to create the relationship between the tables. Now, let me explain it clearly by using Excel file. 1 second, let me open one Excel file. So this is my example. This is my Excel file, and I will enter some data here. Suppose I have students table. Okay. In the students table, I have student ID. Okay, this will be my student ID, student name, and course ID. Okay. This is one of my table. I have something called as students table. In that students table, I have 3 columns. One is student ID, student name, and course ID. And let me enter some data randomly. Course ID will be, let's do one thing. I'm just entering the data. Give me a moment. Okay, this is my data. Students is my table name, and student ID, student name, and course ID is my column name, and this is my data. So I have one another table called as course details table. Okay. Okay. In that I have some columns like course ID, course name, duration of the course. Okay. And I'm giving the data here. Okay. So this is my data. Students table, course table. In course details table, I have course ID, course name, and duration. And this is my data. Okay. Now I want to understand this data. Okay. If I ask you, what is the course name of student name Raj? What will be your answer? What is the course Raj is taking in the sense? What will be your answer? Please.
SQL.
QL.
SQL. Right, right. So how did you set that? By
Seeing the course ID.
comparing the course ID, right? Here, Raj is For student name Raj, the course ID is 1. And again, we will go to course details table. For the course ID 1, the course name is SQL. Right? By comparing these two columns only, we can able to give the answers. Right? So, like that only, in SQL also, we will have many tables. And to relate the data, first and foremost, there should be some common column between the table. Okay? So here, course ID is the common column, right? So by using this common column only, we can relate our answers. We can combine the data between these two tables, right? So here what happens, that common column, by using that common column only, we will create the relationship. And to create the relationship, what we will do, we will define a foreign key to that common column. Okay, let's see. First, let me ask you, in students table, what will be the primary key? In students table, what will be the primary key? Which column will be
SID,
the SID,
Yes,
right?
right.
Correct. In course detail table, what will be the primary key?
course ID.
Perfect, perfect. See, as I said, for each and every table, there will be only one primary key. How we will decide what will be our primary key? Whatever data that should be unique, for that one only we will define the primary key, right? Here for the students table, student ID should be unique. That's the reason what we will do, we will define primary key for students ID, right? In course details table also, course ID should be unique generally. Course name, anyways, for each and every student, see, one student, two students also will take same course names like that. Basically, the course ID should be the unique one, right? So I'm defining primary key for course ID here. Now, what is the common column between these two tables? Course ID, right? By using this course ID only, we are relating the tables or we are connecting the tables. So what we will do, in one table, course ID will be the primary key. And in the second table, that course ID will be the foreign key. Okay. We will define foreign key for this common column in this table. By defining foreign key only, we can create the relationship between these two tables. Okay. Because as I wrote the data in Excel file, as I wrote the tables or data beside, beside each other, we can easily relate like this. But in SQL, we need to display the data and the data will be stored in the backend, right? To display the data or to combine the data, we need to create a relationship. And foreign key is used to create a relationship. And for which column we will create the relationship? Whatever columns we have same common column between two tables, right? For that common column, basically how we need to remember, in the sense, we will have one common column, and that common column, in one table it will act as a primary key, in another table it will act as a foreign key. Okay, is this concept clear for you, everyone?
Yes, a foreign key should be I can say fixed or a primary key in another column, na?
Yes,
It's
that is a
mandatory.
rule. That is a rule. That is mandatory. That I'm going to tell afterwards. Actually, that is a mandatory rule. If course ID is foreign key in this table, that should be definitely a primary key in this table. It should act as a primary key in one table. Then only we can define it as foreign key in another table. Okay.
Okay.
I guess this is clear for you, everyone. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in chat also. Is this clear? Foreign key.
Yes, ma'am.
We will
But
see
any
some.
rules, ma'am, behind the for a foreign key like the way we have in primary key, it should be unique and not null.
Yeah,
So any
yeah. I will tell. I will tell. Once I
oh,
create once I give the SQL statement, I will tell. Okay. It compares
Ma'am,
data or
ma'am,
column. Yeah. Yes, please.
generally, foreign key table 1 will contain the foreign key because we have to link in this case with like table 2.
Okay. Yeah.
So generally the first table which we have to link will have the foreign key. As
Yeah, actually, the thing is that we cannot say that as the table one or table two. It can be in vice versa also. But the only thing what we need to understand is, in one table, see, we need to have a common column for sure. Here, course ID is our common column. That course ID will be primary key in one table for sure, right? This course ID is primary key in course details table. So in the
Okay.
another table, it will act as a foreign key. We cannot define this here only we cannot define a foreign key because already we defined a course ID as primary key here, right? So we need to define foreign key in this table. And
Okay.
whatever you asked is also correct. For the first table, with the first table only we are linking. No, that's the reason we need to create a foreign key first for the first table. But again, in some rare cases, it may vary. It may vice versa also. So we should not remember like first table and second table kind of thing. The correct way to remember is that in one table, that common column will be the primary key. Okay. And in the another table, because here course ID cannot be the primary key because student ID is the primary key in students table, right?
Okay, ma'am. Got
So
it.
definitely course ID will be the primary key here and this course ID will be the foreign key here.
Okay, ma'am.
Now let's see how we will create it in SQL. And one more doubt. Yes, Satishit, compare the data of course, but we will define the foreign key to the column first. To the common column only, we will define the foreign key. After create foreign key will help us to create the relationship between the two tables. So in that way, we will compare the data after creating the relationship. Okay. And let me tell you the rules also here itself. By seeing this data, we can conclude 3 points. Okay. In that, the first point will be every table, there should be only one primary key, which we already saw in the primary key rule, right? Because in students table, we have only one primary key, that is SID. And in course table, we have only one primary key, that is course ID, right? So our first point will be for each and every table, there should be only one primary key, right? And the second point is that every foreign key will act as a primary key in another table. Just now I explained. This is the foreign key in this table, right? Course ID is the foreign key in this table, right? That course ID should act as a primary key in this table. Correct? Let me write it here only. See, first rule is for every table, there will be only one primary key. Okay. Right? And the second rule is every foreign key should act as primary key in another table. I will explain. And the third rule is that primary key column primary key column data should be unique, right? Whereas in foreign key column, data can be repeated. Okay. Let's see these three rules in Excel file. Here can be repeated. Okay. See, The first rule is that we know for every table there will be only one primary key, right? This point we discussed yesterday also. Each and every table there should be only one primary key. For student table, SID is primary key. Course detail table, course ID is primary key, right? Second point, every foreign key should act as a primary key in another table. That is, in students table, course ID is the foreign key, right? This column, this course ID column is the primary key. This column only, it should act as a primary key in another table for sure. That is, course ID is primary key, right? Here in course details table. Is the second point clear for you? Everyone. If you have any confusions, you can tell me, no problem.
Ma'am, in the first column, that is students column, is it necessary to have a primary key? Because foreign key is necessary. It's obvious, but in the student column is student table, is it necessary to have a primary
It
key?
is necessary, actually. It is necessary because student ID, there cannot be any the same student ID for two students, right? That's the reason. See, here what we will do, we don't think like we are not using a student ID in this data. We should, being a SQL developers, whenever we are creating any table, we should create with the perfect, by taking consideration into each and every rules, we need to create perfectly. Here we should not think that we are not going to enter any duplicate values, then why should we define a primary key? It's we should not do like that. Definitely, whether we are going to enter any duplicate values or not, also we need to define a primary key for each and every table. Okay.
Okay,
So
yes.
like that, in students table, student ID should be a primary key, because if suppose, see here what it will happen, many people will work on same project, right? In every project, maybe two to three developers will work. Maybe after working some days, I may leave the company. Someone will take my position, right? At that time they will continue my work. They should understand, if I don't if I don't define the primary key here, someone will come and someone will try to enter the 1102 data once again. It will take, it won't throw the error, right? Then
Yes.
the complete data will be messed up. For that reason, if we use or don't use also, whenever we are creating any table, we should definitely create a primary keys for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the foreign key also, this is the rule. For every foreign key, that whatever column we are defining that foreign key, that column will be definitely a primary key in another table. Okay. And the third rule is, in primary key column, data should be unique. We know that, right? When in primary key column, if we define any primary key for any of the column, it will not allow the duplicate data. So by default, it will be unique. Whereas in foreign key column, the data can be repetitive. That's the reason I wrote here. I wrote one course ID for both, same course ID for both the students. Here, because students can take same courses, right? Raj can take SQL, Deepak can take SQL. We cannot stop. So here in foreign key, the data can be repetitive. Okay. There is no rule that foreign key data should also be unique. It will, obviously, it will repeat. Okay. Only the primary key data only, it will be unique. For each and every one, is this 3 points clear so far? This is really important.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Divya,
Mm-hmm.
can you please create one more table and explain foreign key in the same Excel sheet?
Same Excel sheet. Okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
one more.
Okay, no problem. So this is like students and course details, right?
Yeah, one more.
Yeah, I'm opening a new sheet. One second.
No, I'm telling that you have
One
like
more,
done with,
yeah, you
yeah,
want me to explain with some other data, right?
not with this some, not with the another. You have created two, right? Okay, create one more. Okay, aside, and if possible, explain foreign even for that.
Okay, if you want me to relate three tables like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be students course. What can be the remaining data? Hmm. Fee structure maybe. See, randomly I'm taking data. Okay. Let's see something like field structure.
Course name can be primary key. Course name.
Yeah, we need to keep a course ID only primary key here.
Okay.
Of course, as you said, course name will be also unique. Sure, we can give course name also. If you are not, if you don't want to include course ID here, directly I can write course name also. No problem. Course name, maybe fields. Just imagine only two columns for now. Okay. I can keep Tableau maybe like this. SQL maybe something like that. Okay. If we have three tables like this, how we will relate here? We will here we should definitely add course ID also, or else we will miss the second rule, right?
Yes.
So let me write course ID here. See, if I have data like this, and if I want to relate these two tables, how it will work, this course ID will be primary key here, right? In this also, in the fee structure also, course ID will be the here we have two common columns, course ID and course name, right?
Yes, yes. Correct only, madam.
Yeah. One second.
And course ID will be the foreign key as well. Since
yes, but again,
Ma'am, we can relate first and second table, third table and first table.
third table and first table like that also we can do. These tables also we can relate. If we really want to relate these tables, what we need to do in the sense here for this course ID is primary key, right? If we want to relate these two tables, what we need to do in this fee structure, this course ID will be the foreign key, and this course name can be the primary key. Okay.
Yes.
Because here what we are saying in second rule, every foreign key act as a primary key in other table. That's the reason here course ID is foreign key. It is acting as a primary key in this table. Right? And course name can also be unique. We cannot repeat any course names. If it is like student names, it can be maybe repetitive, but course name will not repeat. So we can even define primary key for the course name. Okay. Or else if we have three tables and if we want to relate using foreign key, the better way is to relate with the first and third table also. It will be fine with the help of course IDs. Is that okay, Sweta?
Ma'am, first and third table cannot be related, I think so, because in course ID, if in first table course
In
ID is
first
the
table, course ID is foreign key, and in this first,
third table.
if we want to relate these two tables, what we need to do here, this course ID will be the primary key, right? This course ID will be the primary key. This course ID will be the foreign key, like that. Here we should, in this fee structure, the course ID should be the primary key. At that time, we cannot define this course ID as foreign key here. The course ID will be foreign key in this table only. If we are relating this first and third tables.
Ma'am, small doubt. Ma'am, can we have a small same column ID, for example, course ID as a primary key in the two tables? Can we have it? For example, table 2
Sorry?
and table.
Yeah, same, correct. Your doubt is like for the course ID in this table 2, it can be the primary key, and in fee structure also course ID can be the primary key.
Yes.
No worries. And we have one more concept also. We will learn that going forward. We have something called as composite key. Composite key in the sense, here what we are doing, If I explain that completely, you may get confused, but just try to listen only one, try to understand only something that here primary key, in the sense when we will declare, when we will define primary key, whenever we want to, keep this column as unique, we will define the primary key, right?
Yes.
So what is composite key? In the sense, if we want to keep the two column names unique, suppose in this fee structure, I want course ID should be unique and course name should be unique. At that time, I cannot really declare primary key and primary key here like this, right? Because we should have only one primary key for every table.
Yes.
At that time, if I really want to, keep these two columns unique, we will define a composite key. Composite key is nothing but the combination of two primary keys. We can understand like that. If we
Okay.
want two columns should be unique, then at that time we will create a composite key. Only one column, if we want to be unique, we will create a primary key. And to relate the two tables, if we want to relate the two tables by using any key, then at that time we will create a foreign key. And Sweta, as you asked me, I guess Sweta only asked me the question to give
Yes,
me the third table, right? So the concept here is we are just understanding the foreign key if we want to relate. Of course, we will create foreign keys in the tables, but as in, I guess whatever you are, thinking, if we have multiple tables, then how we will relate the foreign keys kind of thing, right?
yes.
Basically, if we have many multiple tables to display the data, we will use the concept called joins.
Okay.
Okay. If we listen that concept, you may also think that then why we are using foreign key. Like that it will be. Joins we will use if we are 3, 4, 5 tables, we will use joins to display the data from all those tables. We will use joins to combine the data only. At that time, if you ask the same question, like if we have third data, then how we will relate, right? So no need of relating each and every table by using foreign keys. Instead of that, we will use joins. Okay. So don't worry about that for now. Okay. After listening joins, you can relate.
Ma'am, please, could you explain composite again? I missed it. I mean, couldn't
No
able to
problem.
understand.
Okay. So composite key in the sense, see what is primary key basically. If we want to keep any column unique, we will define a primary key, right? In student table, I want my student ID to be unique. So I declared a primary key for student ID column, right?
Yeah, right.
Now in course details table, I want my course ID to be unique. So I defined a primary key for course ID. First, suppose instead of course ID, I want course ID and course name, both the tables to be unique. Definitely, I want course ID to be unique, and definitely I want course name to be the unique. Suppose if I enter SQL once again, it should throw an error for me. At that time, what we will do, we will define composite key. Okay, because we cannot create primary keys in one table, right? We have the first rule is that for every table we will define only one primary key. But here my requirement is I want these two columns. I want to define these two columns to be unique. At that time, for these two columns, we will define a composite key. Instead of creating primary key to course ID, directly we can create a composite key for course ID and course name. At that time, this both columns will act as unique columns. We cannot enter any duplicate values in this both columns. Okay.
So we can't create composite key for one table, like for C name, right? So we have to create a course ID and course name for both the tables,
Yeah, for
right?
both
And both the
tables.
columns.
We cannot create composite key for single column. Which if we want to create unique data, unique restrictions for two columns, then only we will use composite key. Don't worry, we will learn this also in going forward. Okay, we will
Yeah,
see some
thank you, ma'am.
examples. All right, I guess foreign key also you understood with this data. Now let's see how we will work by using the queries. So here I will create the same tables which we saw first, like students table and course ID, course details tables. And what we saw in Excel, where is that?
Ma'am, can we not export the data from Excel to the SQL?
Sorry, can we?
Can we export the data from Excel to the MySQL?
Yeah, there is some ways actually. You can find that ways in in YouTube. You can find one video, the process of how we need to insert the data from Excel to the MySQL. We can
Okay.
do that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and yeah, this is students table and course detail table, right? Now what we will do, we will create these two tables in MySQL, and we will see how we will define the foreign key for these two tables by using syntax. But for the first, if you see students table, we have foreign key, right? In course details table, we have primary key. That means we need to relate this students table course ID with the course details table course ID, right? I repeat, as we have foreign key in this table, we need to relate this table with this table. That's the reason here what we will do, first we will create this table, course details table, then only we should create a students table. In whatever table we are defining foreign key, that table we cannot create first, because whenever we are defining foreign key, we will relate to this table, right? That's the reason first this table should exist, then only we can define a foreign key in this table. So now first I will create the course details table, then I will create a students detail table, and I will show how I will use the foreign key to relate them. So let's create a course details table now. So basically what we will use to create the table, create a command, right? Create table course details. Course details, my table name, and I will give the column names inside the brackets, right? What is my column names? I'm just using CID here instead of course ID. Okay? So CID, that is course ID, will be my column name, and the data type will be the integer. Next, I need to define this as a primary key, right? Correct? Next, C name will be course name. C name will be my second column. And we know C name, what will be there? We have character data, right? So I can give varchar. Varchar data type I can use, right? I will also explain after writing the syntax. And next we have duration column, right? Duration column also I can use integer, right? So this is how I will create the course details table. Here my table name is course details, and I have three columns in it, that is CID, that is course ID, course name and duration. My course ID, in the course ID what we will enter, basically we will enter the numbers. So the data type will be the integer. Course name we will enter character data. That's the reason I defined varchar here, and I defined 10 as a size for this varchar. And for the duration column also, we will enter numerical values. Then, so I declared as integer, int. Okay, again, here course ID should be the unique one, right? That's the reason I declared or I defined primary key for the course ID. Where we need to write primary key keyword after writing the data type. First, we'll write the column name, then data type, then we need to mention primary key keyword. Okay. Now let me execute this. The table got created. And let me insert the data. How we will insert the data? Insert in the table name values. Course details is my name. Next, I will give values, and after writing values keyword, I will enter all the data inside the brackets, right? So here I'm just copying the code, okay? Because this is just the data. To save our time, I just copied the code. We will write the data inside the brackets. We will write, this will be my first row, right? One will be my course ID. My course name is SQL. The duration is 30 days. And the 2 is my course name, course ID, Tableau 45, 3 Power BI 40. Okay. This will be my 3 rows. Now I will, this will be my first row, second row and third row. Each and every row we will separate with a comma, right? Yesterday we saw how we will use the insert syntax. Now let me just execute this. My data got inserted. Now what I will do, I will just display the data. To display the data, we will use select, right? So select star course details. I'm just selecting this and executing. You can see the data. See course ID, course name, duration. I got my 3 rows, and at the bottom you can see I got null also for each and every column. That's the reason what null will indicates. If we can see null here, we
Primary
can
key.
understand that primary key. Perfect. Here in this table, we used primary key somewhere, right? We used primary key in CID. That's the reason we got null everywhere, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is my course details table. Now let's create students table and define foreign key. How to create the students table? Again, the same. Create table. Table name will be student, and I will open the bracket and I will write student ID. What is our column? Student ID, student name, and course ID, right? So student ID will be integer for sure. Here next, what I need to write?
Primary key.
Perfect. I need to define a primary key, right? SID. And guys, I wanted to tell you something. Here, see, all of us, someone will understand the concept very quickly. Someone will understand the concept a bit late. Okay, if someone answers very quickly, and if you still in the process of understanding the concept, don't get don't get afraid about it. Here SQL is very easy concept. If someone is very new to the SQL, if you are learning the SQL for the first time, it may take some time. You need to practice a bit. Okay, once in demo classes, basically we won't show the installation process for you. So that's the reason on Monday I will show you the installation process. After installing the software, just try to create one table, try to insert the data, try to display the data. Then if by doing that practice, you can understand very easily. In that process, if you get any errors also, you can ask me in the next class. Okay. All right. So here what we did for student ID, I defined the data type and I defined the primary key. Next, student name. Student name will be the data type is varchar, and I will give the size as 10. And next course ID, right? So I'm just giving CID. Here my course ID is in, right? Now, what I want, I need to, in this students table, my CID, my course ID will be the foreign key. Now, how I will define foreign key? In primary key, whenever we are defining primary key, what we did, we just simply wrote primary key keyword here. But when we comes to foreign key, we cannot write like that simply. We need to write like this. Let me show. We need to first, after declaring, first I will give comma here. Okay. At the bottom, see this, it's my 3 tables, its ID, its name, and CID. I'm putting comma. Next, what I'm saying, I want this CID as a foreign key, right? So what I will write here, first I will write foreign key word, okay? Foreign key, and in what column I want foreign key? For the CID column, right? We are defining the CID column as a foreign key. So what I need to do here, after writing foreign key, I will write CID here within the brackets. That means we are saying for the CID column, I'm defining the foreign key. And from which table we are relating? We are relating this CID from the course details table, right? So here what I need to write, I will write the references keyword. References, course details table. Let me write the complete line, then you can understand. All right. So this is how we will define the foreign key. Okay. That means here what I want basically in students table, I want to declare foreign key for course ID, right? So first what we do till here, the concept will be same. We will declare each and every column. After column, we will declare the data type. Okay. Till here, same. Again, after declaring data type, definitely we should give the comma. If we forget keeping this comma here also, it will throw as an error. We should put comma. After that, what we need to do, for whatever column we need to define the foreign key, first I will write the foreign key keyword, and inside that I will use the brackets and I will mention the column name for the column name. For that column name, on which we are creating the foreign key, I will write that column name here. That is,
Here the CID should be must, or suppose in another table I have course ID instead of CID.
no
Does that
problem, no
work?
problem. That can be anything. See, suppose I just wrote the same because to reduce the lines of code. If here, if we mention this course ID and if we write CID here also, no problem. It will work.
No. Instead of that, you already created that course, right? Now students table, you can write course ID here instead of CID.
Okay. Do you want me to write course
Yes.
ID here?
Yes. That
Okay.
will.
Yeah, that will work. No problem. But what we need to do here, this is our, the CID is there in course details table, right? Here I wrote course ID completely. So what I need to do here, I need to write the complete one. This course ID will be what? This one. What I'm saying here, for this course ID column only, I want to create a foreign key. Okay. But I'm taking that reference from the course details table CID. That means I'm relating this column with this table only, right? See, let me show you the Excel file as well. This is our table and this is our second table. What we are doing here, we are relating these two columns, right? Course ID, course ID. Suppose I wrote CID here. This is what we did, right? This is CID and this is
Course ID here. In students course ID you have written.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Here CID.
Okay, thank you. So first what we need to do first, we need to define this course details table only. That one we did. We created this table. Okay. Now we are creating students table. In that, what we are doing, we are defining the foreign key for this table, right? And why we are defining the foreign key for this column? To relate this column only, right? We want to create a relationship between those two columns, right?
Yes.
See here, basically we want to relate this data, right? That's the reason we are creating foreign key on this table, right? So what we need to do here, whenever we are writing syntax, first we need to write foreign key keyword. After writing foreign key keyword, we should, within the brackets, we need to mention on which column we are writing foreign key. On the course ID column only, we are creating foreign key, right? So that's the reason here what I did, I wrote first foreign key keyword and within the brackets, I wrote course ID. That means by these two words, what we can understand, I'm creating foreign key in this course ID column. Okay. And why we are creating this relationship? To relate with this course details table CID, right? We are taking this data, we are referring this data from here. That's the reason we wrote like, that's the reason we wrote references keyword. We are referring the data from course details table CID. Okay. Is that clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
So first let's execute this and let's see. Students.
Ma'am, please repeat this. Student ID is primary key here and student name.
Right.
Then
Right.
course ID, just scroll little bit right now.
Yeah.
Course ID is integer, okay. Then again, you are writing foreign key. So you are not writing course ID in foreign key like this?
Course ID foreign key. See, in primary key, what we will do, we are just creating primary key. We are not relating that to anyone, right? That's the reason we will just use the primary key keyword whenever we are defining primary key. But when comes with the foreign key, the concept here is that we are relating with another table. We need to show the relationship between the two tables. That's the reason what we need to do first. Generally, we will write the column name and we will define the data type. After that, we will give one comma and we will say, here I gave the name to the, I mentioned the column name, I given the data type of that column, and next, along with this, I want to define a foreign key for that column. That's the reason we will use foreign key keyword first, and we will say on what column we are going to use foreign key. That one we will write here. Now we are defining foreign key on this course ID, right? So I wrote course ID here. This two words will what it says, we are creating a foreign key on course ID column. Again, why we are creating this foreign key? To create the relationship between course details table, right? That's the reason what we will take. We will use references keyword and we will write this table name, course details table CID. Basically, what we are saying, we are referring this data, whatever data we are relating, we are referring that data from course details table CID. Then only we can relate the data. We are getting, in simple words, I can say we are getting this data from this only. The data will be same. Okay.
Thanks, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That's okay. Let's execute this. And if you see 2 to 3 examples, or if you practice, you can understand easily. You can, on your own, you can write any foreign key, no problem. For the first time, it may look like a confusing thing, but generally it is very easy. Okay. Just remember that we are using references here because we are creating a relationship between the two tables. Okay. Now let me execute this. My foreign key is created. And let's enter the data also. How we will enter the data by using insert. Insert into students table. And whoever said me to write this course ID here instead of CID, that is very appreciative thing, because if you go through this code once again, you may get doubt that if I write the same CID here, what is the CID, what is the CID, you may get confused. Now, by seeing this data also, you can get clear that this course ID came from this table and this CID is from this table, right?
Yes.
Thanks for reminding me that. If we write like this only, it will get clarity for the first time whenever we are working. Okay, so let me insert the data. Insert into students, values. So student ID data will be 1101. Student name, next course ID, right? Let me just copying the data. Okay. So this is our first row, second row, and third row. I given the student ID is 1101, student name is Raj, and course ID is 1, right? Like that, I given 3 rows. And each and every row, we need to give this separation comma. Okay. Now I'm executing this insert statement. It got inserted. Now let's see. Now tell me how to display the data of students. What command we need to use to display the data?
Select star from students.
Correct. Start from students. Same. This is my data. SID, SNAME, and course ID. Okay. Again, you may get doubt that how to combine the data. Here, if we create foreign key also, we can let me just display both the data at a time. 1 second. See, suppose if we want to execute two statements at a time, what we need to do? This select star from course details is one SQL statement and this is one SQL statement. If I want to see the both the outputs together, we can execute the two lines together. But at that time, what we need to do? We need to use semicolon here. Whenever SQL sees the semicolon, it will understand this one line is one SQL statement and this one line is one SQL statement. If we won't provide semicolon here, SQL will understand these two lines as one SQL statement only. So whenever we want to execute both the statements together, we need to use semicolon. Okay. Now I'm just displaying both the tables together. See here, from here I can change. I got the output like this. This is my course detail table. This is my students table. Here you may get doubt that we are creating the relationship, but we are using the foreign key, but the data is displaying separately only. This is course details table and this students table, right? So if we want to combine the data, by using foreign key, we can just relate the data. We cannot display the data combinedly. If we want to display the data combinedly, that means if I want to see, here SQL is the course name and here Raj is a student name. If I want to see that Raj is taking the course name of SQL, Raj is studying SQL or Raj is taking SQL. If I want to display the data combinedly, what I need to do, we will use the concept of joins. Okay, by using foreign key, we will just creating the relationship, but we cannot display the data combinedly. We cannot display the data together. Okay.
While we created primary key, null, it was under the table, null was displayed, right?
Right.
While we creating foreign key, anything will be displayed or not?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
But by default, what it happens whenever we are declaring the foreign key, here in students table, we declared foreign key. I mean, we defined foreign key for course ID. But here there will be definitely one primary key, right? Here SID is primary key. So by default, we will get null for each and every column at the each and every row at the bottom. Okay. So I hope foreign key is clear for you guys. Primary key and foreign key.
Yes, ma'am. Well explained.
Thank you so much. Ramkoti, do you have any doubts?
Yes. Clear,
Yes,
very
please.
clear.
Okay.
This output font can we increase, madam? Any
output font?
when you execute command, this
one we cannot, I guess.
okay.
See, I will check tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, no issues.
Basically, we
Thanks.
can increase the size of the code, but I never tried increasing this one. I'll see whether we can do or not. I'm also not sure.
Okay, fine,
Okay.
fine. If possibility is there, we will.
Yeah,
make
I'll
use
do
of
that. If it is possible, I'll try to increase.
Yeah, it will be evident the results.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is
Even
about
tomorrow,
Mhm.
even tomorrow we should follow the demo link to join the class.
I'm not sure, Sweta. This team
Yes,
will.
ma'am, because I have already paid the fees, but they told
Yeah.
me to follow the demo link until Friday. And Monday onwards,
Yeah,
they will
maybe
change
from
the
Monday
link.
they will change. Yeah, because some people are again they are they are in a confusion. They want 2 more demo classes. It seems some students. So that's the reason. Basically, we will use the demo links for 3 days only. After 3 days, we will change. But this time only we are providing 2 more days. Maybe tomorrow also we will use the demo link only. And from Monday the link will change. Once the link will change, whoever students already made payment. Uh, for them, for your mail, you will get the new link. Okay.
Okay.
On Monday. Yeah. I think we will close the class for today, and tomorrow we will start with SQL commands. Okay.
So it will be a 40 days session, no, ma'am?
Yes, 40 days session. Within the 40 days, we will complete the entire course. Along with that, we will also discuss the interview questions. Suppose in any case, if we cannot complete in 40 days, I will extend 2 to 3 days also. No worries. I won't, I am not that trainer. As the time is less, I will just, speed up the in my process.
Yeah,
Like
ma'am,
that,
don't
I'm going to
hurry.
do.
I mean, if it takes
I
time,
won't.
it's fine.
Yes. Yeah. That's what. how I'm teaching now, till the last class, you will see that frequency only. I won't mix up the things. I won't skip the concepts, and I won't speed up the way of my explanation. Okay, no worries.
That's good, ma'am, actually.
And
Thank you.
madam,
Yeah.
while continuing the hello,
Hello.
while continuing the course itself, we can work with the project like Netflix project only, right?
Yes, from Monday I will give you the Netflix project for you, and I will explain each and every topic on that project only. Like
So-
starting from the functions. Once we're done with our SQL commands,
okay.
I will show you the installation process. Then I will show you the Netflix data. I will give it to you. I will show you how to import in your laptops. And in now we are using like this, like students table, course
Mm.
table, employees table, right? But from Monday, we will start the concept from functions. From functions, we will use this Netflix data only.
Okay, the same thing we can go and mention in the resume also, right?
Yeah, you can mention. You can mention as the movies data or Netflix data, or else you can mention as Maven movies. You can see the name is Maven movies. If you mention this Maven movies database, people can understand very easily about the data.
And one more thing, madam, at the last of this course, can you share any of the project other than this movies data, what you have done in your career, so that
Do
it will
you,
be?
do you want me to share the database?
Yes. That in different project other than these movies.
Okay, so I have Instagram database with me.
Okay.
That will be different one. Like,
Okay.
if you want, I can share it the end.
Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Okay.
I cannot explain that database also in this course, but you can explore that data and you can try.
Yes, madam. We will do that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
more than enough for us. Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thanks for this.
Thank you, guys. Let's end up the session here. Let's meet tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye.